How to use Zoom. Zoom is the application where we can basically have a video conference with anyone around the globe for free, and opposed to what I thought a lot of people would know how to use Zoom, or I should say everybody knows how to use Zoom. That is not the case. However, it is such an important and strong tool that is available to you, and I really believe you should be able to use it, which is why I have this primer about Zoom. So first of all, it is free to use. You just go to their website, zoom.com or zoom.us, and you download the application. Now, the great thing about Zoom is that it works on every possible device. Whether you have a Mac, a Windows PC, an iPhone, an Android phone, probably all the other phones that are less common, it works, and people in the business world really understand to navigate it. Most people do. So there is a trust factor that comes into play here. The trust into this application is very high. It is a company that is well funded, so it constantly also releases updates that you should do to make sure that your application is safe, secure, and has all the features. So next I will talk about how universal it really is. I think I touched upon that. It's really not only universal in the sense where most people in the professional world know it, most devices work with it, but also a lot of applications, a lot of calendar apps, they work nicely together with Zoom. It's called, they have integrations with Zoom, but that is a little bit more of an advanced topic. So we'll go to the next part. When you get your Zoom account, you will have a unique ID that is assigned to you. Think of that ID as just like your phone number. And the unique ID is part of a link that, if you want, you can give that to people out there, and that will always and forever be your Zoom room. Meaning when someone clicks on that link, they come into your Zoom room, and you can open that link, your room as well, and then you can talk to each other, see each other on video, and also share your screen and have multiple people join the room. That is, of course, one of the very strong aspects of Zoom. So you have your unique ID. However, you don't have to only rely on that sending each other that ID. You also can schedule meetings in advance. And I'll show that actually later. I'll share my screen and we'll walk through that. So what you can do is you can schedule a meeting in advance with the date and the time and the topic. And then what Zoom does, it creates a little bit of a longer link that has more information encoded so that Zoom knows this is this specific meeting and this is a passcode to access the meeting, and everything is encoded in that link that you get for the scheduled meetings. Again, I'll show that here in a moment. Of course, you can always have spontaneous meetings. You can just open your Zoom app, click the new meeting button, and then you have a link that you can share with your team or with others. And that will most often, in 99% of the cases, that will just consist of your unique ID. Last but not least, there is a very strong feature that is really very powerful, and that is screen sharing. So what that means is that you can, instead of showing the other person your face, you can show your screen, and you can share a presentation, a document, what have you. It's very powerful for sales calls, for calls where you want to explain something. So let's open my Zoom now, and then I'll show you a few things. So first I will share my screen here with you, and then we can walk through that. And here we go. All right, so you can see my Zoom application here. I have it installed, and the first thing I want to show you is when I start a new meeting. And we're going to go a little bit into Inception here now, because when I start that meeting, you will of course see the camera again. Okay, so this is a meeting, and I can connect with this meeting. Either I can connect my audio, my sound, either with my computer audio, or I can also, I'll just do that now. Here I can also switch to phone call. If for whatever reason my computer audio doesn't work, I can dial one of these numbers. I need the meeting ID and the participant ID, and then I can join this this call with my audio like this. In my case, my computer audio works fine, and I will click join with computer audio. All right, so now what you can do here in the top left corner where you have that green shield, you can click that, and here you see this is my personal meeting room, and this is that link that I told you about, which is really just the Zoom based domain here with the My Meeting ID attached to it. And I could copy that link and then email that to someone or text it to someone. And that someone, even if I gave that to you right now, would come into my Zoom, provided I would let them in. It would show right about here that someone is interested in joining the room, and I can let them in. So this is my personal meeting room, and that invite link here never changes. Okay, so that's that. Next here, when we look across the bottom bar here, what is very interesting is the share a screen feature. Okay, so I can click that, and then I can see all of my screens, and I can share my screen. So for instance, I could share my screen that is on the left-hand side, and that'll give us inception, but I'll do it, and then you will see that those who are in that call, in that Zoom call right now, see this here, what is shown in the minified version of what is being shared. So I'm going to stop the share again. I can also record this Zoom call, and I don't need anyone in the Zoom call in order to record it. Some of you might want to just record yourselves, and that is possible. You know, when you click the record button, you have the option to either record it on the computer, the file goes straight on your computer, or you can record it to the cloud. You have a certain storage allocated in your Zoom account. I think that is the most important. Anything else is a little bit more advanced, but that is what I wanted to show you here within the Zoom app, really the basic feature. I'm going to end this Zoom call now, and then I will show you something else. So what I want to show you next is scheduling a meeting in advance. I use the schedule feature for that. So let's say, for example, I have a meeting with Johnny that happens tomorrow. So we are 6:24. Tomorrow would be 6:25 at 9. Let's do it in the morning. 9:15 a.m. Half an hour. Central time zone. It's not a recurring meeting, so I won't check that. Everything else I can let the default on. The waiting room is also an interesting feature that I can turn off if I want. In a scheduled meeting, I can turn the waiting room off. That means that I need to let people in. If I turn, when the waiting room is turned off, then I do not have to let people in. They can come into the meeting automatically. I recommend keeping that on so you always have control over who is in your room. Now I click save, and what happens now is that as I go to my schedule, as I go to my meetings here in the top, you can see that I have all my upcoming meetings listed here. So I have, of course, a few upcoming meetings as I use Zoom a lot, but this is the one that I scheduled for tomorrow, meeting with Johnny. I can kind of come here and start it from here, and I can also copy the invitation, okay, and I could put that in a email. For instance, right now I'll open a note, and then you see that that is the invitation that Zoom gives me. I can just email that to someone. What they really need is this here. As I told you, it is the Zoom domain with your unique ID. And then for scheduled meetings, you have this password attached to it that identifies this particular occurrence of the meeting, right? So usually this line here is sufficient for someone to join. Sometimes they'll need the meeting ID and passcode. So with these 3 lines, if you email that to someone or share that with someone, you should be pretty sure that that person can join your call. And this, I'm going to delete that again because this was just a test. So again, that is the basics of Zoom. And I think this was helpful for you. If there is anything else you want to know about Zoom, let me know in the comments, and I can maybe make another video. Also, if there's another topic that you would like me to cover, let me know. I have a lot of fun doing these videos for you. For now, I hope you can leverage Zoom to really get a lot of business, or forge a lot of friendships, or complete a lot of projects by utilizing it to talk to people and professionals all over the world for free. By the way, the free version is limited to 45-minute calls, which of course for most people who are okay with the free version is plenty. And then if you need more time, of course, you would want to pay for a Zoom license. I think it's $16 per month for one license, but I'm not sure. But you can look that up on the Zoom website. Again, this is it for now. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you very soon again here on this channel. Bye-bye for now.